Hello everybody, welcome! My name is Ryan. There's something in the air. Can you feel it? Can you smell it? I can. It can only mean one thing. Civ 7 is going to be released in about 100 days. That's not very long, and I'm very excited. But for the first time in quite a long time, it gives me a little bit of a problem because I have been putting Civ 6 videos out for some time now. A long time, over 7 to 8 years. That has genuinely felt like I could put whatever I wanted up, and I would always have more time, but time is running out. We only have 100 days left. We can only put up a certain amount of games. What to put up? Well, I have decided we are going to be looking at some of the greatest series we have ever put up on the channel. Some series that have had a huge amount of views, a lot of series that have had great interaction, some of my favorite series, and most importantly, some of your favorite series. So on Discord and on the comments of this video, I want you to let me know what were your favorite ever series that you have seen me play Civ 6 on this channel. I need to know. What are we redoing? What are we reduxing? What will make our 100-day highlight reel as we count down towards Civ 7? I have taken the honor of picking a series that really stuck in my mind today. An infamous series that went down brilliantly with you all, and for me was one of the greatest challenges that I've ever tried. 20 players, Roman Holidays AI, Transcendent difficulty, that's Deity++ as it was back in the day, Saph's Mediterranean Mare Nostrum TSL, which is basically the Mediterranean map from Britain all the way through to the Middle East and Arabia. And we are, of course, the wonderful Mr. Hands and Shoulders himself, Julius Caesar. Veni, Vidi, Vici. Now, why did this series stick so lovingly in my head, and I know certainly meant a lot to all of you? Well, spoilers, if you're going to watch the old series, now would be the good time to do it. Go and pause the video because I'm about to tell you. In the original series, famously, we lost. It was not a series I won. We were beaten. We were struggling all the way through the game, and it proved to be too much. We had a rampant Spain, a rampant Scythia. Too many problems to count. We were too slow to move. So the question is, in 2024, as Civ 6 reaches its natural lifespan, can we go back and repair the damage from the previous series? How much have I learned as a content creator? Am I better as a Civ 6 player? Will the updates to Roman Holiday make it even harder than I actually had the first time about a year ago? Probably. Now, because about 11 months has passed, it's not exactly the same save file, but I've replicated it as well as I can. Come to Discord for the save file and all of the mod lists that you need, all the user interface mods and all of the gameplay mods, they're all listed there. Can we, on a 20-player Mare Nostrum map, for the last time probably, recreate the Roman Empire? Let's just get started. Turn 1, and I have a bit of a house rule when it comes to true start location maps. I like to settle in place. I know I probably could have had a slightly better start if I'd gone to settle on the Olives, or maybe if I'd settled on this Plains Hill, but it's not in the spirit of a true start location map. We must settle where Rome was. Although because this is the last time we're reforming the Roman Empire, I cannot help myself. We have to play as the one true Rome, the Byzantine Empire. So my capital will today be called Byzantium. Sorry, it just had to be done. I 100% just love to play as my own Civ, even in this case. I'm going to go for a warrior. I like a scout start as much as anybody, but in Italy, we have a little bit of space, and Rome is all about legion. So having a bunch of warriors early game makes the better upgrade paths later when we go to war. Scouts are very good, obviously, at scouting. Kind of gives it away. It's in the name, but they don't upgrade into anything useful. Warriors are a little bit more expensive. They're better at fighting the AI, and they will become legion later. So what's my tactic here? Why did I lose first time round? Well, the big problem was speed. We fell behind. I got stuck into classical to medieval age warfare. We didn't have a very good time, and by the time we managed to fight our way out of it, well, the game was already over. So today we are replicating and fixing our mistakes a little bit. I'm looking around the map. There is nowhere for horses to spawn within the range of Byzantium, so I'm not going to go for animal husbandry. Instead, we're going to go straight to writing. Yep, I could go for Vesuvius down here and go for a boosted astrology and get my own religion, but here's the thing. I want to reform Roman Empire empire. That's going to involve smashing quite a few eggs, and on the process, we're going to be taking other people's religions over. So I'm simply going to wait for a religion I like and then adopt that. Not going to bother with my own one myself. We're going to focus on getting as many early game campuses as we can. There are quite a few scientific city-states in Europe that we can get. I don't know which ones will spawn, but Bologna, Geneva, Fez, and Hattusa are all options. So it makes sense to go quite heavily on campus because we actually want to unlock the Legion as fast as we can. We want to unlock Baths as quick as we can, man-at-arms, industrial zones, all the way through to trebuchets. So getting out of the classical era as fast as possible is important. As we go through and start conquering, Veni Vidi Vici will give me a bunch of gold, a huge amount of gold, and I'm going to be using that to upgrade all of my units to keep them prim and proper. So warriors into legions and so forth. But early game conquering is really, really tough. Legion are strong, but the swordsman really does struggle. Without a man-at-arms rush, or at least combining the Legion with an encampment that gives me great generals, without going for oligarchy, there's a lot of stuff that could potentially go wrong with an early game war. So we're gonna have to be a little bit careful. I think going for science early game is definitely the play. I'm gonna be focusing then on economy with harbor and commercial hubs where I can, and then into industrial zones. That's kind of the three areas. It should be plenty. This warrior is gonna go up. We've got quite a few potential city-states directly to my north, such as Venice, Fez. No, not Fez. What do I mean? Bologna, Geneva. I don't know which ones have spawned. So we're going to go directly north and see if we can find them, at least before Hungary does, before Gaul does. Italy is full of mountains, as are the Alps directly to my north. So I do think going science is the clever option here. And as you can see, it looks like someone is there. So I think Bologna has spawned in this game. That is wonderful for me. That is really, really good. We did want to see Bologna. Gives me a bunch of great people, but also +1 science and improved libraries. Who is the first couple of great people? Euclid and Beijing. Okay, so we don't have the library person and we don't have Imhotep. Good to know. We're going to go pick up this tribal village. Then we're going to go and see if Venice wants to party. I don't even know if Venice is in this game. They probably aren't. So already I can see a +4 campus. +4 is going to be what I hope is the minimum. +4 means that later into the game we can pick up Enlightenment and go into the Rationalism card, 50% extra science, which really helps when you have a bunch of city-states pumping up the university and library science. That's always really good. Craftsmanship boosted. That is a bad boost. I could have done with gold, a builder, to be honest, anything. That was a boost I was always going to get. Bologna. This is one of the problems about playing on Transcendent difficulty, is all the city-states start with hundreds and hundreds of warriors. I can't actually get through that tile. I'm going to move out of the way in the hope that he moves in any other direction. I want to get to Venice as soon as I can. Yeah, there we go. We're through now. There's pottery. Here is my warrior. This warrior is going to go down south to discover the rest of Italy. And whilst we're working the deer and the olives, I'd love to put a library down as soon as I can, or a campus down. I'm going to need mining to do that because I need to chop these woods down first. Just get a second settler out as soon as possible. Oh, there's something that's thrilling, just wonderful about a true start location map. I love playing on these. It's been a wonderful thing to have as like your channel mascot. Huge TSL games. They really do provide me with a ton of joy. I hope over the years you've enjoyed watching them. As I say, in the comments on this video, if you could let me know the favorite series of all time that you've enjoyed, I'd love to see which ones stick in your minds. I bet quite a few of the TSL series do stick in your minds. They were good for me. There's Vesuvius. This explodes a lot, but is otherwise absolutely giga. And there's another +4 campus on that tile. This would be worth a lot of era score if I settled towards it, and it would certainly melt any city that tried. There's also a barbarian, don't forget. Caesar gets +5 combat strength when attacking and defeating barbarians, and we are not level capped when we fight barbarians. Our troops can get as high in level as you want, which is just a fantastic little combo. There's Venice. Did we meet Venice first? We did. Oh, that's so good. And we've actually completed a city-state quest for Bologna already. I don't know what we did, but sure. Yeah, I genuinely have no idea what they wanted there. That's wonderful. But anyway, the +2 gold per turn is huge. That's really, really useful. We're now going to move this warrior over, go and see if we can find the Matterhorn and Geneva. Whilst this warrior chases down this barbarian, remember the barb camp is worth 300 gold if we kill it. So we need to watch exactly where this barbarian goes. We need to track it down. We need to find the barb camp and destroy it. Although normally finding where it is half the problem. At this stage, I don't know whether or not keeping city-states alive or conquering them is going to be the better long-term play. Of course, every conquer is worth a bunch of gold. And if we're going to be attacking a bunch of people and one of my enemies takes over a city-state, that's going to be a fundamental defensive problem in the middle of my empire. But Bologna is a huge amount of science and gives me extra great people points. Venice gives me a ton of gold and makes my trade routes better. And Rome is all about trade routes. So they kind of both are very well synergized city-states for me. I don't necessarily want to get rid of either of them. There's the Barb camp, by the way. Just wait. If we can pick up Discipline, get ourselves another +5, that'll mean we're attacking with 35 strength. We should be laughing. It was very, very tempting to put Barb clans on, but I didn't. The reason I didn't is because we didn't play with it first time round. I wanted to be as faithful to the original game as I could. I was going to use exactly the same save file, but alas, I could not. It was not working because I think some of the mods involved have updated so much in the last 12, 13 months. It was just irreparable. But hey, what can you do? God King and Discipline. There's the full bonus. Come on, warrior. 35 strength. Oh, I barely can do it. Like, it's just so amazing. If there's a Barb camp that's fortified on a hill, I can barely dent those things half the time. Let's get writing. Hopefully we'll be able to just cap out after about 7 turns. Meet a civilization. We're going to be trying to hit all the boosts we can to be as good as possible. We'll unlock the trader as soon as we can. We're going to get 3 roads, but the +1 gold per turn really does help. Plus, I believe, trade route wise, I can always trade with Bologna, get myself a little bit of extra science. There's another geothermal fissure, obviously, where I'm stood, which gives me a bunch of other really good campus locations. So we've got an unfortunate marble settlement of 1-2. These block some very powerful campuses. No matter, I'm sure we'll be fine. Picking exactly where to settle is going to be a bit of an art. I honestly don't know where the best place to go. I am tempted to go and settle on top of this sugar. That'll give me the luxury to sell, but then we do have a stone on the second tile, some decent enough tiles around there. Settles up close to Bologna. That's probably my favorite settlement at the moment. I could go and settle on the coast down here. It looks like there's a reef. Oh, is that a reef? No, it's not. It's just Vesuvius giving production to the tile. I was just about to say that would be a really good campus, but it's not. Well, not that it's not a very good campus, but you know what I mean. Tribal village. Come on, give me something good. +1 envoy. Hey, that's actually genuinely really good. We can get some real decent library points from early on. If we build the campus and we get the library up really quick, I reckon getting Bologna on side is the play here. Let's just do it. 2 era score, a bunch of visibility, and we've discovered there's a tribal village right there. We've also now mapped out all of this sort of northern section of Italy, so we know exactly what's going on. There's a Barb camp there. That's a huge source of gold for me. We want to go and work that out. Looking at the settling map, I think I'd like to put a city down there because it's on the Plains Hill. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. I can't settle on this tile, so just looking at this area, if I was to settle on the geothermal fissure, I would block off this geothermal fissure spot. I don't want to settle too close to Vesuvius because it explodes. It's annoying. It's terrible. So if I was to go there, then I could settle there. So this is kind of the rough arrangement that I'm thinking of at the moment. We're going to have pressure from Hungary, Greece, and Macedon as they try and cross into the southern boot of Italy. We're going to have pressure from Hungary. We're going to have pressure from France. I don't know which option is the better one to go and settle on, to be honest with you. All of these have really good options. I guess the advantage of settling down in this direction is we could get a really good campus quite quickly. Although this would then sync up nicely because that would make this tile a +4 as well. Oh, I like that. Yeah, I still think this is the better option. So my warrior has a promotion, battle cry. Now it's tough. Now it is a Barb killing machine. We're going to go and kill this Barb camp at the same time if we can. Barb camp destroyed. 320 gold. That is a huge influx of gold. Do I just get the settler out? Part of me is tempted to buy a monument here, but I think we're just going to rock this and buy the settler because then we can go for the triple settle. So we'll send one up here and then we'll send one back down here as well. Yeah, no, I like that. I like that. That's really cool. The monument is really good, but I think getting to 4 cities as soon as possible is the play. So we're going to add a little bit of production time onto this settler, add another few turns on it. This will just help the speed, really help the speed here. Speaking of, I think I might just lock these 2 tiles in. It's working me +1 gold per turn on the olives at the moment, but if we can take some time off, we can shave a turn off. Yeah, I think it makes sense to work all these tiles. Let's get 1 attack in. If Bologna does some damage, hopefully they'll put that Barb camp within range. I'm going to move this warrior back round to this settlement spot just to see how good it is. There's a bunch of luxuries around it. Fantastic. If there's more land up here that makes sense to go and settle, that'll open up a settlement spot down here, maybe I'll take that as well. Information is key. That's why taking Bologna was so useful useful. Yep, they've left the barb camp open. Bam, another 320 gold. This is a speedy start so far. I could go for another settler. That's wild. I think I'm going to get one in 4 turns anyway, and this will put me back down to 1 population. I think it's better for me to go for a monument right now. More than doubles my culture. Writing, we're just going to jump off that briefly as well. All I need to do is meet another civ. We're going to meet another civ at some point, you'd hope. One thing I'm going to deliberately do as well, which kind of plays into my playstyle because I'm useless at barbarians and scouting anyway, but I'm going to deliberately leave areas of the map unscouted. Well, sorry, not unscouted, but in the fog of war. I want as many barb camps to appear as possible. Barb camps are an eternal source of gold, and if we can start farming them, that'll be fantastic. All right, so here are the alternative settlement locations. If I was to go up 1 tile, I could then go and settle on this Vesuvius tile, but I think having a Vesuvius city might be a liability. At least over here, it's a little far away. I don't get the era score for settling this far away, though. That is a problem. This is a difficult decision, because settling up here would then avoid the fresh water, and it's actually not a very good settle at all. I think I might leave this as it is. I've had bad instances of settling by Vesuvius. Getting a little bit more land for each city means that I'm not going to have a district squeeze later into the game as well. So there are advantages to this. Mega Colossal Eruption. You see, this is exactly the sort of thing I'm talking about. It'll just blow this area to bits. At least I can now work the tiles without being close to them. This is city number 2. The citizens of Ostia adjust to their new home. Ostia? No. Here on Earth of Ryan, I like to thank the wonderful people who support the channel on Coffee and Patreon. You guys are amazing. You're wonderful. You're fantastic. You help me to do what I do. Welcome to the wonderful Flower Power. And as you can see, we have a road, but we're not Trajan, so we don't get the free monument. Boo! I'm just gonna have to actually buy one in. I think it makes sense for me to buy one in here because we just keep the culture squeezing nice and fast. The faster we can get the government plaza, the better. Let's open in this city with a build-up. And we have a luxury, so it's actually a happy city as well, which is great. Matterhorn. You can see there's Geneva. It's going to take me a little while to get to it because there is no way through here, but that is the promised land of Geneva. Foreign trade. I cannot wait to have trade routes. As you can see, the available routes at the moment are just +3s, but I have a nice 111 route. Eventually, those will be worth it. Where is a decent settle for me here? Because this isn't doing a huge amount for me. Sure, I get marble if I work a builder, but that's going to take quite a bit of production or gold to get that builder. I could settle on this geothermal. That would give me +1 science. Yeah, that's the play, isn't it? Let's go and settle in this direction. Having a road connecting the southern Italy heel to Byzantium, that I think is going to be very beneficial. So I'm just not meeting anyone quickly. I'm tempted to start rushing the campuses, but I think I need to get the production down before I do that. Let's get another builder. 2 builders. We'll put the builder card in imminently. Although actually it makes more sense to have +1 production and flower power because you have 1 production as a city. Dear oh dear. Is this scout going to attack me? It is. Oh, -100. Harsh. Harsh but fair. Harsh but fair. I like settling on geothermal fissures as Rome. You get this unique aqueduct improvement called the Bath, which gives you a +1 amenity and housing. No, sorry, 2 housing and 1 amenity above the usual ones. But if it's next to a geothermal fissure, you get +1 amenity. So if you put your city center on one, you always get the +1. It's really, really useful. Plus, having extra science in your city is fantastic. As you can see, I'm actually making a bit of an effort today to settle my cities slightly further away from each other. I prefer, on a personal level, a 5-tile settle rather than a 4. Sure, a 4-tile settle works really well with industrial zones. I respect that fully. Etmananki just being built there. But a 5-tile settle just gives you so much more space for districts or stuff like that. It's really good. That is the only source of horse, actually. Interesting. If I wanted horses, I actually would want to settle up there as a priority, but I do think this is the better settle. I'm going to be getting my campus imminently. So in order to do that, I'm going to rush it. I'm not going to wait. We're just going to rush straight through. Otherwise, we're going to be waiting forever. Just wait. I'm going to meet somebody in 4 turns and we would have gone, oh, that was totally wasted. Always happens. Flower power is going to just buy this tile because it's cheaper in this direction. Gives me a little bit of a production boost right now, but then I can switch it to Byzantium when we're ready to chop it out, which I will be doing ASAP. Nobody's got a campus at the moment, but just you wait. Those campuses will come in pretty quickly. I'm going to actually rush getting libraries out with Bologna in because it means that every campus I have will be generating 3 great people points per turn, which is wonderful. Next up, state workforce. The government plaza is such a good district to put down, and I didn't bother putting in the builder card because even 30% 30% production. It only barely makes a difference in Byzantium. Having +1 production at the moment is still better. A barbarian galley, that is always a problem. I'm actually going to go writing into sailing here because we might need to rush a galley just to stop this city from being attacked and killed. Last thing I want is the flower power to be destroyed. I'm hoping it won't be quite that aggressive given how early in the game it is, but it has just found my city. So yeah, writing into sailing is now quite important. What did I say? What did I say? I have just met 2 people literally when writing was about to finish. Honor to meet you, Spain. Yep, let's exchange information on capitals. And we have Eleanor of Aquitaine. The French, no, this is the English version. That's worrying. Why do I know you, England? Oh, she spawned over here. Oh, that's funny. The TSL start on this map for England is over in France. Oh, Eleanor being Eleanor. All right, so we've now met 2 people. We missed a couple of turns on that, but hey, what can you do? Eleanor will buy my sugar for quite a lot of gold. We'll just keep an eye on that. Roman Holidays mods make the AI really dislike you at the beginning to encourage early war. This could be a way of affording a galley nice and quickly. It would make flower power unhappy, which takes 10% off all the yields. But right now, I'd rather have the gold. I think a galley is what, 240, 280, something like that. So not too many turns and I'll just be able to buy one in. Let's see where it goes. Hopefully he's not just going to bash himself on my city. Hopefully he'll just sail away, but we shall see. City number 3 with again a nice trade route/road through the lands of Italy, which is just wonderful. A wonderful name of Mr. Fancy Sweatpants. What a great name, eh? We have the extra little piece of science coming in on that tile. There are some good campuses, but now I think rocking that builder as soon as we can, that would be the better move. I'm just going to heal a few turns to stop people from coming into Italy. I would actually prefer it if I was totally isolated. I don't want to have to be dealing with any rushes of any kind. Builder, done. Let's go chop out this campus to start with, whilst we go and see if we can find any more barb camps. Builder's going to give 27 production. The campus needs 73, so we would take about 4 to 5 turns off, or we could chop this builder out, which I'm actually tempted to do. Use 1 charge of a builder to gain 3. Now, Byzantium will take that tile and build the +4 campus. Excellent. And now we can do another +3 campus, which will become a +4 campus. That says that it's going to take a long time. It will, but we are going to get some tiles that will help with that. This stone, I'm going to put a quarry down on it immediately, and that will give me another 3 production, which makes a big difference. State workforce, I'll try and let that one get boosted. So we'll go to early empire now. Oracle has been finished. So 38, quite a quick oracle, that one. And there is sailing. How much of the galley? It was 260. I said 240 or 280. So I was right in the middle and incorrect on both. Why are you working these? I guess those are the best tiles, but that's not great. Here is a boost to masonry. Let's now go to irrigation. Those olives will be improvable and sellable. And I guess I'll let people into Italy now. We'll go and explore up to go and meet Geneva and all of the other people in Europe. Speaking of, here is France. Who will win out of Eleanor of Aquitaine and France? I really hope we see a rampant Eleanor in this game. That would be so good. We'll see if the Court of Love takes effect. Wow, double boost there for a second, because of course there is Geneva. We haven't got any envoys there, but if we can series run them, 15% science is nothing to sniff at. Let's just get the galley. It's not the world's first. It does mean I have a defense in case those barbarians come back. Major flood, 1 population lost already in flower power. Harsh, but we got it back immediately. Yeah, very harsh, that one. Not many pantheons left. So tundra tiles or rainforest tiles, neither of these are going to be useful for my empire, although Lady of the Reeds and Marshes is still there. I don't have a huge amount of marshes, but I do have some. Fire Goddess is also there as well. Geothermal fissures, which I have at least 1 in my nation, and we're going to get a bunch more. +2 faith from those. Small benefit, but it is a benefit. There is a camp in my capital that could use +1 food and +1 production. I think God of Healing could be useful for my war as well, but that's getting a pantheon that doesn't give me anything for ages. I don't think there's a single pantheon that's going to win me this game particularly, but I think we're actually going to go for something a little little bit different. People always tell me to go Fire Goddess, and I always think it's a bit naff, but it's pretty much the only source of faith I'm going to have for a little while. So let's do it. Let's go Fire Goddess. Geothermal fissures and volcanic soil. I do have Vesuvius near me after all. Bam. Did you see that? Roman holiday? Work ethic is the first religion taken. Crazy. So as you can see, we've got 2 faith per turn underneath Mr. Fancy Sweatpants, and we'll pick up more as we go. It pains me not to get the production on Marsh, but I can hear you saying already, you always go for that, Ursa. Go for something different, and today I will. Oh, a Diplo favor is being bought. Hey, that little infusion of gold is very handy because it means I can buy this tile and put an improvement on it, which speeds the campus up no end. We just need 4 era score in 6 turns. Finishing this campus will give me 3 of that, so I need to meet one other person. This galley hopefully will meet either Hungary or Greece, or we can find another tribal village. I'm hoping something will give and we'll be fine. Speaking of, hello Hungary, and you've got 2 luxuries. Amazing, honored to meet you. Let's do some trading. So all I need to do is finish this campus. I say it as if it's nothing. All I need to do, how much for both of them? 66 gold. That is so worth it because I'm removing the 10% penalty on both Flower Power and Mr. Fancy Sweatpants. Excellent, excellent news. Now, I don't know where this barbarian boat went. It doesn't appear to be round, so I'm actually going to go and improve these 2 sources of fish because that will unlock the Celestial Navigation boost for me. My plan is to finish irrigation, then to go bronze working into Celestial Navigation through astrology. That's my plan anyway. An unmet player has been defeated. Eleanor hasn't grabbed the capital, which is a shame. I'm always half expecting her to. Oh, the Empire. So I don't need God King anymore. We're going to put urban planning back in. I realized all that time I was talking about the extra production, I had God King in, didn't I? You gotta sometimes just take me at my word, not listen to what I'm saying, not what I'm doing, you know? It's the usual. We figure it out eventually. But sometimes I just have a long lead-in time, all right? A Marnie tour is not going to be particularly effective on this map, although we could. Strews are in Venice, which could be useful. Or I can go straight into Pingala and go for the double Great Scientist points. I think a Pingala rush might be useful, but no, Armani always makes sense to have her. Let's try and scoop up Venice. Someone's gone Feed the World. Feed the World exists somewhere. It's the best religion. We can all stop playing Civ 6 knowing that we all agree 100% that Feed the World by far is the best religion. I think we can all agree on that, right? Oh, the horse takes so much. I just wanted like 1 horse just so it stopped this notification at the top from being really annoying. Buy some cotton instead. Who is happy? Rhizantium's happy. Amazing. Hopefully everyone will be happy in a second. So 2 people are getting +1 scientist points at the moment. That's fine. We're going to start getting +3 per city very soon with Bologna's help. Speaking of, there is the era score I need for my campus. Whoop-bam. There's irrigation. We can also get ourselves the olives in for a bit more gold per turn. Could sell it, but not for much. So we're going to hang on to those for a sec. There we go. State workforce into political philosophy as soon as we can get it. The boost for Celestial Navigation. We can now buy some tea as well. Let's do that. And Rhizantium's ecstatic. That's 20% on all yields. Amazing. Get that library in as soon as we can. I get the trader in as well. Some good routes to Rhizantium. Now let's get the library in first. Holland, you are excess era score. Could you not have waited a turn? Probably not. Krakow always does well. Poland always does well on this map. I always find it a difficult start, but the AI just seems to love it. And there's the golden age. I don't think it makes sense to specialize at this point. We'll keep discipline just in case we find some barb camps, although Gogi might help to print a couple of warriors just for a bit of a legion rush later. Let's do that. We haven't actually found any barbarians in a long time. Watch as I find some barbs. No, okay, I thought I'd summon them there. What golden age is going to help us most? I only have 2 faith per turn. Gold is okay. Monumentality I don't think is going to work particularly well. I think we're going to go 3 inquiry because this is when we're going to start building commercial hubs and harbors. But more importantly, I just think the Eureka works really well here. 10% extra on tech cost is a huge boost. You can see we're starting to race through techs a little bit more, but getting currency boost, getting the apprenticeship boost, the aqueduct boost, the ancient wars boost, there's a lot of stuff that would get boosted really nicely now. I like it as a golden age. It's fun. And I'd like all of my cities probably to start building settlers rather than focusing on one, although we do want at least 1 encampment city. Is that Rhizantium? Rhizantium does have quite a bit of production because I can get 3 general points per turn, which is a lot. Yeah, let's go Magnus. I'm gonna actually go for Magnus. We've got so much science. We can probably get away with a Magnus start here. Barb camp. It's across the sea, but we can send warriors to go and get that. We want to be absolutely focused on getting barb camps as quickly as possible. Bronze working. Did we get any iron. So there's lots of horses everywhere. There's basically no iron on this star at all. Like, there is 0 iron. Okay, so we can't even Legion rush if we wanted. That's hilarious. No iron Rome. How often does this happen? Like, I swear it happens more often to me than not. Never mind. We'll find a way around it. Just looking at the setup for Byzantium later. If I put the bath down on that tile, that will give me an industrial zone and a government plaza, which links in with this, but also makes this campus a bit better. So that's decent as an option. We still want an encampment in this city. Maybe I chop out that wheat. Let's do that. Let's chop the wheat out. And that'll give me the population to just keep making districts. I need all of this stuff. We need to balance war and science and economy. Oh, France has a religion. Choral music. Boo. It's a rubbish one. Venice bows to me. Venice makes my trade routes better. Significantly better. Yes, suddenly we've got +7 gold on trade routes. So that is worth getting. Here's a fun little thing that I think I'm going to do. I'm going to leave this tiny tile at the end of the boot of Italy totally unexplored. That means, in theory, there is no naval connection around the island, and it's more likely that I'll be able to settle cities on the coast and have them still send roads back to my cities, which it sounds a bit convoluted, but you'll just have to trust me when I say I think this works. So this city will send a route back there, and I'll have another one on this coast. Will I? Hang on. Which way is it going to be? There's no geothermal fissure here. I think I'll put it on this coast. Oh wait, hang on. The settler's going to reveal it anyway. What I'm trying to do is basically make sure that a city cannot connect back to Byzantium via the sea, because then we won't put roads down. It's really annoying. We'll figure out the placement of those cities in a bit. I think a couple of strategics appearing in that area, that might change the whole thing for me. One thing I have to keep in mind is that every city needs a bath district. I cannot, under any circumstances, not put one down because it's just so much housing and so much happiness. So I'm going to make sure that I'm actually planning these in. If I don't, I just feel like I'm going to regret it later. Here's a builder. Where was I going to put the campus in this city? There's a couple of +3s. This would be a pretty decent one, although no, I'm not working that tile. I don't have marble, I don't have sugar, and I don't have coffee. So actually all 3 of these luxuries are needed for me. I don't need them all immediately. Yeah, I think I'm going to cut this tile down and put the campus on this one. 14 turns. This is easy to synergize with things in this area. Political philosophy. Now, the legacy card I would like to unlock is Classical Republic, because later in the game, 1 housing, 1 amenity will be brilliant with a wide empire. So we're going to get that first. Let's put inspiration in. Urban planning is good. I'll go God King temporarily, but we'll replace that as soon as we can. And then there's Diplomatic League. As I find city-states, it'll be really good to just double up those envoys. But we will unlock the Classical Republic legacy card. And then if I do go to war, I can always switch to oligarchy to get the +4 combat strength. Autocracy is always very good fun as Rome, but I don't have any of the buildings I need right now to make that work. Another luxury. There's the coffee. Anyone want to buy this? No. Well, this one? No. No one wants to buy anything at the moment. It's like the AI is learning. It's like Ursa's getting too much of an advantage here. Let's not do this. So this will take me from +1 to +3 scientist points per turn. This campus will take me to 4, and this library will take me to 6. Then once we finish this library, we'll get to +8 points per turn, which is huge in the early game. Bologna has been taken from me as soon as I say that. Why? Who would do that? Jadwiga, but Jadwiga has Armani in the city-state. Okay, this is why I keep a spare envoy. So we've taken it back. I need to keep this one here. Currently, I'm keeping Venice under lock with my Armani, but I can always move Armani over in the longer run if I need to. But yeah, the extra great scientist point is huge. I don't want to give that up. That's the problem, by the way, with letting people into Italy. That's kind of why I was trying to keep everyone out. Alas, what are you going to do? God King? Actually, I don't want that. Let's put Ilkham in, because we have got a builder that can be made in Byzantium in theory in 3 turns. Is that what I want to do? I want to chop this tile out. So yes, it actually is. Let's get that done in 3 turns. Flower Power now has the possibility of getting a harbor out, which would be very useful. And +4 would give me era score. We can beeline military training for veterancy. In the meantime, I'm going to actually beeline recorded history for natural philosophy. 100% extra campus yield. And I'm going to try and buy the library in with gold, which is 360. priority. Yeah, the harbor has to go down with priority. The reason for that is because that +4 actually will give me +4 science per turn whilst the classical era is still going. So that's huge. That's really big. Flower power has no production otherwise. We do need to improve the production in this city if we can. Much for open borders. That's a lot for open borders. Can I just give you in favors? Kind of can, but that's expensive. What about open borders for me? Oh yeah, and one guy. Okay, there you go. They just want to trade it. I'm trying to keep exploring where I can. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Daddy Bear Todd, Toon General, Civilized, Kappa Yobby Virani, The Uncivil Engineer, Lillian, Radiatore, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy Zursa, Saph, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Frankincense Battlezord, Bukaluke 79, Bob Loblaw, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Hal Carnassus, Morax, Sinikush, Echo Bear, Deja Fu, Kovuwu, Legally Trash, Is This Live, Twin Cam Inferno, Martin S, Minnow, Sorted Dutch, Rad Bickley, Shadow of Gaia, Flower Power Bear, Poppy Dude, Dan Jamo. Thank you everyone for your support. Goodbye!